All right, so I got an idea, and a while back in one of my videos, I said I was going to do 13 ghosts for Scooby Doo. So we're going to do the two fan picked characters. I don't know at this point if those have been done or if they're still going to get done, because this is like future Billy. Well, this is like Billy in the past, or I don't know what Billy this is, but it's at this point, I still don't know who the two fan characters are going to be, but I'm going to go ahead and do this video because, I need the two fan characters, and then I need three more bad guys to make. So this one is going to be made real similar to the 10,000 volt ghost, where we're just going to start with a wire body. And I'm just so excited about this because I got this really, really cool idea. And I guess as you saw from the thumbnail, this is going to be the tar monster. Now he, again, is going to have a wire body wrapped in styrofoam, or not styrofoam, why did I say styrofoam? Aluminum foil. And then he has one big eye in the middle. So we're going to use this little googly eye, but I'm going to try to take it apart and paint the inside green, like a lime green, so it'll glow under the black light. And then his little mouth will be made out of felt. And, we're going to be really authentic with this character. And let me show you how authentic we're going to get. We are going to use real tar, or roof cement, which is pretty much tar. So this is a really old can of tar, and I've definitely never used this for a craft project, but on the side here, it has dried hard. I didn't know if this would ever dry or if it always stays sort of sticky, but apparently it does dry. So that's what we're going to use. And again, I'm going to uh, wrap this little body in the aluminum foil and give him the basic shape that I want him to have. And then I'm just going to, pretty much dip him in the tar and let it just drip off and do its thing just like it did in the cartoon. All right, now before we get started, this is a list, and the way I'm going to pick these characters, there are, these are going to be the two fan picked characters over here that we will definitely make. And I've already kind of decided one's going to be the Headless Spectre. My handwriting is really crappy, but and then today we're going to definitely do the Tar Monster. We'll have to let you all pick one more down here. And then, wait, how many am I doing? 3, 4, 5. Okay, yeah, so 3. And then we got to pick 2 more from over here. And the way I'm going to pick these is I'm going to put these on a wheel. We're going to put these numbers on a wheel, and we're going to spin the wheel and see what number it lands on. And so that's how I'll decide the last 2 characters. But anyway, that's my little list. We've got the Gypsy. I think her name is Carlotta or Carlota. I don't know which way you say that. You could say it either way, I guess. The Witch Doctor. That one scared the crap out of me when I was a kid. No, actually, there are 2 witch doctors. One of them is an Indian witch doctor. That's the one that creeped me out. The other witch doctor, he was creepy, but not as bad as the Indian witch doctor. There's the Creeper. He's a classic. I kind of want to do the Creeper. Now, this one is actually, if I land on number 4, that's actually 2 characters, so that'll knock them both out without having to spin it twice, because that's a witch and a zombie, and if I do her, I got to do him. Then we got the Green Phantom, which is like one of my favorite episodes. The Mummy, the Puppet Master, and Ellis Kingston. So, I don't know. We'll make the little wheel and do that in another video. But anyway, that's the ones I've got listed that we might be making. So anyways, let's get started on the Tar Monster and see how this goes. Let me show you what I've done so far. Now this is where I'm at. And of course I'm still working on the aluminum foil. But I've made these arms. and these little hands, and hopefully I don't really have to cover the hands. I'm hoping that the tar will cover those, but still kind of have the shape of a little hand, and I don't know what kind of hand that is. The fingers aren't exactly perfect, but I was thinking that the tar will cover, that, and it'll look okay. But I'm just going to work them in just like that. Just kind of twist this around. And then there they are. And I kind of want them downward like this. And I'm going to try to, I don't know how I want to do them. I guess that's okay. That's really weird looking. Maybe I want them like that. That one that way, like he's reaching out, to get them. All right, so there's where we are. And I'm going to kind of keep the feet exposed because I'm going to actually screw this to a little base, just a little piece of wood maybe or something, so that he can stand up as I apply the tar. And whatever kind of base I put him on, I'll probably leave him on it, so that some of that can be dripping down on the base. And then for the aluminum foil, I've noticed it's easy to make like a little snake like this because it kind of bulks it up a little bit quicker. So the way I do that is I just start with a piece, and then I just keep folding it like this, and then you can just start wrapping the body in that. So that's kind of how I'm doing it. And then you can sort of shape it a little bit more. So that's basically how I do it. And then I'm going to put that other one on the other arm, bulk him out a little bit more here. And of course, he doesn't have much of a neck or a head, but I'll get this done and then we'll go do the tar. All right, so I'm in our little tool shed and we're going to see what this looks like. Now, I am not familiar with using this. Again, this is a very old can, so I don't know how well you can see in there. Yeah, that's kind of gross and yucky, but I think we need to stir that. So let me find something to stir this with, and then we'll see where it goes from there. All right, so I've got him screwed to this little base. It's like the thinnest, smallest little piece of wood I could find, and I don't love it, but I'll decorate this to look like the floor of whatever. And I've been getting this stirred up, and this stuff is like really thick, and I don't know how easily this is going to go on, but let me grab a glove. I don't know. I don't want to get that on my hand. So I've actually got this paintbrush I'm going to try to use. And I'm really going to gloop. Well, that's some place to start, but I'm just going to really gloop this on until, I just get it covered. And then I can kind of maneuver it, kind of move it around a little bit with the paintbrush. But I'm just going to actually scoop this out with the stick here and then move it around with the brush. So, I don't know. See, I'm completely like trying to film this and like trying to do it all at once. And I'm just going to step away. I'm not even going to look at the camera. I think I've got it in frame. So I'm going to step over here where I can do this better. Ew. This stuff smells terrible, so that's why I am outside doing this in the tool shed. because I was not about to do this in the house. And I'm going to try to not get it too thick because I don't know how long it's going to take that to dry. But it's really late at night and I just wanted to get out here and do it, or else I'd be laying in bed, thinking about it. I mean, oh my gosh, it's going to be so cool if this will actually work. I just don't want it to have an odor. I want it to dry out and, be good enough to sit inside my house and not have to worry about it. I've definitely had to use a brush that I don't care about because I'm pretty sure that's not going to wash out. But I can already tell that's going to be cool. I mean, that's just really easy. I mean, this is easy like the 10,000 volt ghost was easy. I mean, it's just making a body and then smearing this on there. And once I'm done with this, I'm just going to leave it for the night. And I just hope I don't come out here and it's all dripped down to the base. I'll come out here and it'll all just be a big blob on the floor. I gotta say though, this is a pretty awesome idea. It's just gonna definitely get messy as I get up here to the arms. I need to get that leg better before I get the head part done. I don't know how well it shows up. I think it shows up pretty good there. That just looks so awesome. I'm so excited about this. I feel like I'm smearing icing on a cake. I mean, it's kind of the feel that I'm getting here, only it definitely doesn't smell like a cake. All right, so I'm going to go. I'm going to finish this up and then I'll come back once I get it on. I just got to really get over here and focus on this. Now check that out. Now if that will harden and cure to where I can actually just have this as a piece sitting in my house, I will be so excited. I mean, that is just another genius idea. Well, if it cures, but oh my gosh, that is so cute. Now I just can't wait to get the eye on it. And the reason I came down here so late at night is I'm hoping this will be dry enough tomorrow to where I can handle it and maybe do the little eye in the mouth. But that is absolutely fantastic. I am so excited about this one. Now, it took some time, more than you may think, to just smear that around and get it to kind of looking the way you want it. I made some, obviously, dripping off his little hands so that he looks like he's really just come up out of the little swampy tar pit. But that looks so good. I just hope this works. I guess I'll know more tomorrow. But I'm just going to leave him here and, come back and check him out in the morning. All right. Good morning, everyone. I am so excited when I got down here and saw that it still looks the way that I left it. I didn't know if that stuff would whoops, oh my gosh. I didn't know if that stuff would run off of the form or what, but I walked in the door and it looks so good. I mean, again, it's exactly like I left it, and it's actually starting to harden up. I'm so excited about that. When I walked in, I was giggling. I was so excited. I just giggled like a little schoolgirl, which of course I got that all out of my system before I started filming. But I'm just so excited, and oh man, he looks so good, and he's still just a little wet enough to where I can sort of shape some of these little pieces here. I'm kind of making sure it's all these little pieces are hanging downward, so it looks like it's really hanging instead of sticking out straight or whatever. But he looks pretty good. And I read up about this stuff, and it says to put it in the sun. It says wait 24 hours. And so I'm going to stick him out in the sun all day today. Yesterday, it was so hot you couldn't hardly stand being outside. Hopefully, it'll be that way today. It'll help dry him out some. But anyway, I'm so excited. So I'm going to let him sit outside, and at some point, I will, you know, try to glue that eye on in the mouth. And then I was trying to decide what to do with the base. I'm actually going to leave the base as it is. I was about to paint it black and cover it in a little bit of the tar so it looks like he's coming up out of the tar pit. But I'd rather it look like he's just standing on a floor. Um, I feel like I like his little feet showing, and I don't really want to put a bunch of tar down here and take away. I feel like it would just be too much black, too much tar. So I don't really want to. I just kind of like it looking like he's just standing there on a floor. So I don't really think I want to do it black. I'm just going to leave it exactly like it is. I think I'm still, see, now I'm kind of questioning it in my mind. Like, should I just do the whole thing tar? I don't know. I think it looks pretty good, and I think I'd rather be safe than sorry. If I go putting tar down here, there's no way to go back and get that off if I don't like it. So I better just leave it like it is. I got just a tiny, tiny, tiny speck. Let me see if I could focus right there on my thumb. And I scrubbed that little spot really hard, and you can still see it. And I was thinking, wow, imagine if I didn't wear gloves yesterday. That stuff really stains terribly. It smells terrible. If you use tar, you definitely want to do this outside. You want to wear gloves. Um, yeah, but that on the brush is already getting pretty stiff. So I'm just so excited that it's hardened up. But anyway, I'm going to get off of here, let him sit outside, and go in there and work on the eye and cut out a little mouth for it. All right. I got all the way up to the house, and then I realized that I didn't even take a picture of it sitting here. And I always like to have little pictures of it, like staged for my pictures that I always like to show. So let me stage my little picture back the way I had it. Make it look like I was working on it. All right. And I'm just going to hold the brush like I'm actually doing it, which I did actually get some last night, but I just need a certain kind of, I didn't get one of me holding the brush like this, and I just want one of me holding the brush. Today we're working on the tar monster. Yeah. All right, let's see. What am I doing? Okay. Here we go. All right, so I'm back in my house, and I want to say he doesn't stink, but he kind of does. Not as bad as he did. I mean, the more it dries, the less the smell is. I mean, that's just kind of like any kind of glue or whatever. But he will eventually, the smell will go away. Now, when I was down there, well, walking up here to the house, I noticed there was a couple little spots that needed some tar. So I got it back out and just kind of patched up a couple little spots right up here on his head and then down here on this arm and hand. So I got that done. I've still got just a little bit on my brush in case if I need it. Oh, and then I've got his little mouth cut out with felt, and I went over that with the lighter. And again, you got to be really, really quick if you try to singe your felt, like I mentioned in the Black Knight video. Whoops, oh my gosh, watch me drop it. So I'm going to just kind of hold that up there where you can sort of see that. But I'm not going to glue it on yet. And then he's going to have his little eye. Well, that eye looks silly, the googly eye. He's going to have an eye and his mouth. I got to work on the eye now. So what I've done is I've just kind of cut it to where I could get that little black part out of there. So that already looks better. And then I'm going to paint that green. But, you know, he's got a green eye. And then he's got like a little lip around it. So I've just cut out this little piece of cardstock and I'm going to glue it on there. So that should look pretty good once that plastic part is painted. Now I'm going to paint that plastic part from the inside. Just kind of, let me see. I'm just probably going to paint that entire thing with the green paint. And I'm going to do it with the paint that will catch the black light so it'll glow. So I'm just going to paint that green, glue it to this, and then glue it on with the little mouth. And then, but while I do that, I'm going to let him sit outside in the sun. So I'm going to get him done and then we'll come back, and I may have to watch the episode to see what kind of prop to make for him, or if he even has a prop at all. All right, so I've got the eyeball painted, and I was trying to watch the episode, but it won't let you watch it without downloading the app. And I don't want to plug up the DVD player because, you know, that's just, it ain't hooked up right now. And I don't know where the cable is to hook it up to watch the DVDs. But I did find enough footage on YouTube to where I know there's a prop. The episode has something to do with a map. So I've got this little map drawn out similar to the one in the show. And I've just drew that out on a piece of regular white paper. And I've painted over that with Mod Podge just to strengthen it up and make it last a little bit better. And I'm just getting it cut out real quick. So it's the map to the inner sanctum, whatever that is. And I'm just going to put a few blots of tar on here like he had been holding it. Because if you watch the cartoon, I'll try to post a picture of it at the end of the video of the map in the cartoon. But there's my little inner sanctum map. You know, again, I'll put the tar on it and it'll look a little bit cuter later. I know that's kind of a boring little prop, but it was super easy to do. So that's what he's got. So I'll put all this together here in a little bit and we'll check it out. I don't know if this tar on my brush is still wet enough to, let's see if I can, I was going to do paint, but if I could use real tar, I'm just going to do the tar. Oh yeah. Okay, so that'll take like forever to dry, but it's okay. All right, so there we go. We got some tar on the map where he had been holding that. That looks kind of gross and terrible, but oh, cool. All right, well, there it is. All right, so before we check him out, actually, I wanted to show the eyeball, what it looks like. I've got it glued to that little piece of white cardstock, and I don't know why I always have a time figuring out that word cardstock. It always takes me a minute to get that, but anyway, I just wanted you to see that green pupil glued to that white piece, and I've just put a lot of glue around it, and I just thought it kind of looked like an egg yolk, it looks like the little green eggs and ham or something. It looks like a little egg. But there's his little eyeball, and that white that you're seeing is all glue. So after that dries, I will glue it on, and we'll put the little mouth on. Let's see how that looks. That looks so good. So I can't wait to see that on the little monster. He's outside in the sun, and he's so squishy and soft, like he's smushy. Like he feels like a little warm puppy belly or something. I don't know how to explain it, but he's so warm and squishy right now. But he is drying, but he's kind of drying from the outside in, so his insides are still just so warm and squishy, and it's so fun. I wish y'all could hold that and feel that because it's just so funny how it feels. But anyway, I'm hoping it won't take too long to dry. I think it's dry enough to, get his face on, but it might take a week or two for that thing to cure all the way through. All right, so here's what he looks like, and he is so cool. He's probably the coolest one I've done just because he's actually made out of what he's supposed to be, real tar. And here's his little map. Let me pull that up here so you can see that a little bit better. I did go over this tar on here with some black acrylic paint just because on the paper it looked more brown than black and it wasn't matching this, even though it's the same tar. I guess where you make it so thin, where I had it so thin on the paper, it's really brown, but when it's real thick like this, it looks black. But I don't know, it's weird. Um, Now I can't wait to, whoops, there we go. I can't wait to get group shots of everybody. I can't wait till all 13 ghosts are complete so I can do my final pictures. That's always my most fun part, is to just take pictures of stuff. And I love how in some of these pictures you're going to see, I'm sitting there with a paintbrush and it just looks like I'm just delicately painting this stuff on with a paintbrush. And it was so much more difficult than that. But I think that's so funny, those pictures. Um, and anyway, he's just so cool. And I took one, I think I got one shot of him in the black light. It's really hard to photograph something with my black light. I don't have like the best camera in the world, but I got a couple of those. But I hope you have enjoyed this one. I think he's one of the coolest ones so far. And still leave a comment if you'd like to see a specific villain, and like and subscribe so you can keep up with this and other projects that I'm going to be working on. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.